Hey, deserving listeners, 90 Day Fiancé, let's watch.
I want to tell you something, but it's hard for me to talk about it. After talking to my parents, I finally made a decision about Avi's surgery. And I've been trying to figure out a way to break the news to Vinny.
All right, so it sounds like she has decided to take their son to the United States to have the hernia surgery right away because it needs to be done right away. And probably because she concluded with her parents' advice or influence that the medical system in Ethiopia cannot be trusted. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if that's based on racism or xenophobia or ignorance or American exceptionalism, or I don't know. Maybe it's accurate. Maybe a lot of Ethiopian people would say, no, if you have access to American medicine, take it. Like, why? I don't know. My impression is that Americans tend to assume that the medical system in other countries is substandard to the United States when it often is not the case. There's a lot of people in the United States who think like Mexico has this terrible medical system. And I've been to Mexico City. There's this huge university, medical school, and very cutting edge research happening there. And so, it's probably similar to the United States, where if you're in like some backwater small town, then yeah, maybe the physician, the one medical professional that lives in that tiny town isn't very sufficient, but you got to go to the big city. I'm guessing in Ethiopia, it's a similar thing. Yeah, in some backwater town, it's possible that maybe the physician isn't very great. But if you go to the right hospital, then you're going to get the good doctors who have been possibly to the same medical schools that your physicians have been, or at least at the same quality, if not higher. I mean, this idea like, wait, you can have doctors outside the United States who are better than the doctors in the United States. That's crazy talk. And of course that could happen anyway. So I don't know, but for her, she has made a decision, I think, to take the child to the United States. And as I've been saying from the beginning, totally. If your child is going through something like this and you're just like, look, I don't want to take chances. My mom is a nurse. She knows someone that does this kind of work. I don't trust anyone. I got to go to that one person, which means I got to go to the States. Okay, totally fine. How do you take care of each other when you do this? Biniyam, I think, feels insulted about Ethiopia. He also worries that he's going to lose his child and his wife in a similar fashion as his ex-wife. And so it's okay that Ariela wants to do this. How does she communicate to him and say, look, I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry about that. I promise you I will come back. I'm terribly sorry. But I want the best for our child. I think you do too. And I'll be back in a jiffy. There's a way to communicate about this so that his feelings will be accounted for and his needs will be accounted for. So let's see how they do.
No, the doctor said, this is urgent. Do you know when he cries, you can see that bulge? Yeah. It's really horrible. And I know you think that I can do all that stuff here, but I have insurance in the U.S. They will pay for it. I don't know how much it's going to cost there. It could be expensive.
Okay, so that's a good point. I didn't think of that. So she's saying in the States, it'll be paid for mostly, and it might be actually expensive if it's here in Ethiopia. Okay, that's a good point. So that's a selling point, but I think more importantly, he needs to be reassured that you're going to come back. He needs to be reassured that you don't hate Ethiopia and that you like it there, because I think he has pride in his country. So let's see if she can attend to those things.
I don't know. So you tell me that you want to leave like something? Or?
I'm saying, baby, that I need to do this in the U.S. I mean, listen, baby, I know that I could do the surgery here, but we don't have a lot of money. And especially now, there's not work during Corona. You're not working.
Okay, so she's bringing up the financial thing again. She's like, yeah, we could do it here, but the money, and maybe that's a bigger factor than I'm thinking it is, but I don't think that addresses his feelings, right? So let's see if she can get there. In the one-on-one interviews, she seems to understand where he's coming from, but she almost never tells him in the moment, which usually means that people are undifferentiated in the moment. They're highly stressed. They can't think straight. And when they're alone with the producers on a one-on-one conversation, they can think more straight. So let's see if she can get there. So, she's capable of understanding where he's coming from, and thus has a jumping off point to validate his feelings, which I'm sure, I'm just guessing that he'll be okay. If she can say, look, I love Ethiopia. I don't want to denigrate Ethiopian medical system. I don't even know if the Ethiopian medical system is better or worse than the United States. I just don't want to take that chance. I'm terribly sorry. I know a person, like there's a way to say this so that you don't hurt his feelings.
If I go home, like, yes, I pay for the ticket, but I also, like, it would be cheaper just to pay the ticket and then have the insurance cover the surgeries.
I'm sorry, I'm not agree with that. Like, I don't know, just have to, like...
Listen, I don't want to leave you either. If I could take you with me, I would.
Okay, so that's another good point. She could really double down on that, because I think that's really where his pain is coming from, which is, I love you. I will never leave you. I don't want to take your child away from you. I'm going to actually even try to figure out a way to get you to come, like something, really what would I say to clients? I have this phrase that I say to clients. I say, really, was it pour it on thick? Is that what I say? Something about pouring it. I think it's pouring on thick. Anyway, I say some phrase that comes out of my face in the moment that isn't now, that has to do with, like, you're saying it, but you're just, it's a little, really luxuriate your partner in that idea. Say it from several angles. Don't just say, I'd bring you if I could. Say, I'd bring you if I could. I'm going to do everything in my power to bring you. I know how horrible this is that we're separated. I know how horrible this is that you're going to be you're not going to be there. You're not going to be there with you're worried I'm going to take your son away from you. You're worried you're never going to see me again. I promise you, I will, pour it on thick. Pour it on thick, is that what?
Even thinking about it makes me sad. I really don't want to leave you. I'm not trying to leave you. Like, I'm sad about it. Really, I am.
Okay, good. This brings a tear to my eyes, because I feel her pain. That's pouring it on thick. Like, I am sad. I'm so sad that I'm viscerally sad. And I'm so sorry, and I don't want to leave you. Okay, good. That should get to his heart. I'm guessing that's what will reassure him.
Sorry, but I really have to do this. It's really important. I don't want you to hate me. Like, I'm worried about it.
Okay, so for him, my hypothesis is that he tends to avoid. I think he has a lot of things to say. I think he wants to say, I think you're underestimating Ethiopian medical system. I think you, in general, think that my country is bad compared to the United States, which hurts my feelings. I love my country. I want you to like this country because I don't want you to leave. I feel like you're not giving us enough of a chance. I am also upset that I can't be there and you're not considering that. Like, you're not weighing all. I understand that you want to go to the States for those reasons, but I feel like you're not weighing my part in this as much as I would like you to. I don't like the fact that you just figure you can do this and without us agreeing. It seems like you've already made up your mind, as if I have no say. Like, I'm guessing he has a lot of things to say, but I'm guessing what will happen, as I think he's doing right now, and he's even said, when I get angry, I suppress it. I try to deal with it on my own. I'm guessing that's what's going to happen, which causes buildup of resentment, which causes passive aggression, which causes reduction in love and affection for the other person, and then that triggers the other person, and da-da-da. So hopefully he can be vulnerable in this moment.
አሪ ሆን ብላ እዛ ቦታ የጠየቀችኝ ጸጉሬን እየተቆረዝኩኝ ሰው በተሰበሰበበት ምክንያቱም እንዳልናደድ ያው እኔ በጣም ሸመኛ ስለሆንኩኝ እንድረጋጋ ስላሰበች ነው።
That's interesting. I didn't know that was a possibility. So he's saying she chose to confront me on this issue in the barbershop because she knows that in public I won't shout or do anything. Does that mean he shouts and does things when they're not in front of the cameras, when they're not at the barber shop? So maybe we're detecting something there. But okay, fine. But, have the discussion. This is a minier version of Mike and Natalie, where there would be these instances and there wouldn't be straightforward communication about how he feels. So let's see if he can do that. Let's see if he can open up and say, oh, da, 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 da. It doesn't mean that it changes the result, but the key is do they understand each other? Do they care about each other?
I don't know. Huh? Okay, like, I don't want to lose again my baby. Like, last time I lost my baby. Now I don't want to lose my family. I don't want to lose like something. I don't want to be like stressed for you guys like something now.
Okay, so good. Vulnerability. I don't want to lose you. I don't want to be stressed out for you. I don't want to lose my baby. I don't want to lose you. That's good. Other people in the situation, like Mike, for example, Mike and Natalie would say, well, what are you going to do? Or what would he say in that situation? I don't want to mock him. He would say, well, there you go again. He would give some impression that she's being hysterical, I would imagine, when in reality, he has a lot of feelings himself. Or he would just kind of throw his hands up and say, there you go again. You don't care about my feelings. So he's being honest, which is good. Now, what she can do is say, and really pour it on thick of, I get it. I understand you. I'm with you. Let me reassure you. I'm still going to the States. Like you can assert it, but if you address it, then the concerns will be lessened significantly. Let's see if she can do that.
My ex-wife ለትሪፕ እንደሄደች እንደዚሁ አልቅሳና አሳመናኝ ነው ሄደችው። ልጄንም ይዛ ሄደች፣ በዛ አልተመለሰች።
Well, that's a detail I don't think we knew up until now. He's saying that his ex-wife, who stole his child, by the way, I don't know, kidnapped his child. In the United States, when you do that, if you're, for you divorced people out there, if your ex, your former spouse, takes your child and disappears to another country that you don't have access to, that's kidnapping. I don't know what the legal designation of it is, but that's wrong. And that's what happened to him. So, and we don't know her side of the story, but if his side of the story is even close to accurate, that's what happened. And the detail here is that she said, I'm just going on vacation. And either changed her mind when she was in the States or always knew she was never going to come back. So he not only is worried about Ariela taking the child, but also, I've been told before I'll come back and they didn't come back. And so you reassuring me that you're going to come back doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to believe you're going to come back because I've already been burnt like that before.
ይህንን መድገሟ ደግሞ በድጋሚ በጣም እኔ ላይ በጣም ከባድ እንትን ነው እና listen just baby please don't go I love you so much just I will do whatever you want I will talk for you like whatever like if you want like special doctor here like something I will talk to.
Okay, so he's making his case. Please stay. Let's see if we could find a doctor that you will feel comfortable with and I'll help and I'll be there. So maybe she'll be convinced. I don't think she will, honestly, but it's good. He's at least engaging. He is at least making a case, and that will help because I worry about when we see him not do this stuff, then that might be the beginning of the end. So at least he trusts her that it's like, well, let me try to convince you.
For you.
I appreciate that, and I really do, but I'm supposed to leave it in a week, babe. I have my ticket to go.
Oh my God, he doesn't tell me, are you buy tickets?
So she says, I appreciate that. Again, I think she could have poured that on a little thicker of, you're right, maybe there is the right doctor here, and maybe there's a better doctor here than there is in the United States. I just don't want to take that chance, and I'm terrified, and I don't know what to do. I'm panicking, and so I'm begging you, please. But she said, I appreciate that. Anyway, then she says, I already bought the ticket, which means I made the choice without even talking to you, which he's hurt by, obviously. Wait, so you already bought the ticket. Why are we having this conversation? You already decided to leave. You know, that's hurtful.
Yes, I bought the ticket, baby.
Now I'm worried, like, Leandro, he came here, like, did he call you, like, come back, like, something? Like, and then you want to come back?
You can look at my whole phone. My phone is open for
It's not a phone, like, it's not a phone. Just how many times both of you talk to each other?
So now his fear of losing her to Leandro is coming up. And, you know, that makes sense. That because she betrayed his trust by buying the ticket before talking with him about it. So, yeah. Now, this isn't doomed. She can pour it on thick. She'd be like, honey, I love you. I'll never leave you. I don't want to be with Leandro. He's just a friend. I would never want to date him. I would never want to have sex with him. He's like a brother to me. I probably won't even see him when I go back to the States. It's not why I'm going. I will absolutely come back. And I'm sorry. I wish I could, just reiterate all the things. She's kind of already said that. Let's see if she can just kind of stay the course. Because, again, he wants to feel reassured that she loves him, that she won't abandon him and take his child. If she can really reassure him on that front, I think he'll be okay. Let's see what she can do.
Ari እኔን ሳትነግረኝ ትኬት መግዛቷ በጣም ነው ያናደደኝ። ልጁን ይዤ እሄዳለሁ። እንዴት የማይመስል ነገር ነው። እንዴት ብላ ነው ልጁን ይዛ የምትሄደው? I can't control myself now. No, I need time. I want to be friends. I'm sorry. አቪን ይዛብኝ እንዴት ይሄዳል አልፈልግም።
All right, so we saw him, I don't know if I showed it, he kind of punched, not hard, but a little bit. Is that the tip of the iceberg in terms of what he has done or what he's capable of doing in terms of physicality when he's frustrated with Ariela? I don't know. And then he says, I can't control myself right now. It's another little yellow flag. He leaves. This is typical to avoidant people. It's not bad. Avoidant people can leave. That can be a functional thing as long as you come back. That's the key. You have to actually come back and engage because there's unresolved issues. Let's see if they do that.
እንድታረግ አልፈቅድላትም።
Well, that's worrisome. So he's saying, I'm not going to let her. I'm not going to let her go. That's not the best attitude. And it's an indication that things have been going bad for a while. So hopefully it doesn't come to him, physically restraining her or not letting her take the baby to the airport or something. Uh-oh.
Vinny is so devastated that I booked my flight to go back to the U.S. to get Avi's surgery. Obviously, my intention is not to upset him, but this is really important.
Listen, baby, I promise you, please don't go, please.
Let's talk it out, not in the middle of the street, not in this.
Yeah, I don't want to lose just my family, please.
Okay, so he's begging her, please don't go. I think she's going to go. There's a way to make him feel more trusting if she does go, if they continue to talk about their love and her intentions to come back. And so it makes me sad to think that he's on his knees in the middle of a street begging her not to go when I'm pretty sure she's going to.
It's very hard for me trusting like another white girl.
But I think you should really give me a chance. I think you should really think about it before you tell me not to go. I think you should really think about it.
Let's go. I can't breathe. I'm not good feeling,
He's saying he can't breathe because I think he's having a panic attack, thinking about losing another wife and another child. So that really points to the trauma that he has been through in the past.
Hey. Sorry.
I thought we could video call with my mom.
You want?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vinny is still struggling with my decision to leave.
So I don't know if this is a great move. They're still in conflict about her going to the States, and she's going to triangulate the parents, the mom, the mom might actually be a help. So triangulation can be functional or dysfunctional. The functional kind helps resolve the conflict, the original conflict between Biniyam and Ariela. A dysfunctional triangulation perpetuates the conflict, even if it's not readily apparent, but the conflict isn't really resolved. So let's see what happens. The mom, I think, has a history of being fairly level-headed, but also, definitely on Ariela's side, which makes sense, and sometimes against Biniyam, and maybe a little patronizing to Biniyam, but let's watch.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Ar. How are you? Hi, Biniyam.
Because my mom is an emergency and trauma nurse, she agrees with me that it would be best if I brought Avi back to the U.S. for surgery.
So I don't know the details, of course, but just because the mom is a nurse doesn't mean she understands the Ethiopian medical system and its quality. Now the mom might be like, well, maybe the Ethiopian medical system is great, maybe it's not, but I do know a physician here where I live that will absolutely do a fantastic job. So maybe it's just that.
And he's very, very, very upset, and he does not want me to go.
So, Biniyam, what are you feeling? Tell me.
No, just my feeling, because first of all, she didn't tell me nothing. Like she bought the ticket. That's why she make me scared. The second one just...
Yeah, makes total sense. She bought the ticket. She didn't tell me. Even though she knew I wouldn't want her to go, she bought the ticket, which scares me. It scares me that she would do that. What else would she do behind my back that would hurt me? Like take my child away from me like my previous relationship did.
You would always be in Avi's life.
Yeah, just I'm scared. She's good mother. I'm not saying just like something. Just she's gone alone there without nobody doesn't help her. Like if she's so tired, I know you are busy like in the work. I don't know who's taking the baby.
Right. So if the roles were reversed and he was going to take the child away from her, it would make total sense that she would say, I want to be there. I want to be there with my spouse. I want to be there with my child. And he's saying the same thing. Makes sense. And if they take a risk, or if they do the process, meaning if they take a risk on the Ethiopian medical system, meaning that, the mom understands probably, I'm guessing, the physicians that she would refer to, and Biniyam doesn't necessarily, know friends that work in the medical, so it's taking a risk in that sense. So for Biniyam, he's just like, let's try to find a physician here in Ethiopia, because then it's a win-win. You get good medical care, we don't have to pay for the ticket, and all of us get to be here. Why aren't we considering that?
እንደምንጓዝ ነው ምክንያቱም ከዚህ በፊት ያሳለፍኩትን የህይወት ላይፍ ታውቋለች ይህንን እያወቀች ይህንን ጥያቄ ስታነሳብኝ በጣም ውስጤ በጣም ከፍቶኛል
So how do you feel now? Do you feel any better?
Yeah, I feel better. Just when I talk to you, I feel better.
Hang in there, Biniyam.
All right, so it seems like a functional triangulation. The mom was straightforward and reassured him, of many things. And this could also demonstrate that Ariela plans on coming back, because the mom is saying, I'm sure they edited it, that Ariela is definitely coming back, the whole thing. So maybe this helps him to feel trust.
If you stay here, I'm happy. It's number one. If you don't have choice for going there, just one thing you have to promise me. Just please come back if you go.
Just breaks your heart, just don't leave me, please come back, it just breaks your heart. And I think she's about to, but hopefully she can reassure him in a number of ways that she will absolutely come back.
I don't even have anything to say to that. Of course. All I can say is of course. Of course I will come back.
እሺ ብያታለሁ ግን ነገር ግን በፍጹም ደስተኛ አይደለሁም አሬ አሜሪካ ባትሄድ ደስ ይለኛል ግን ላስገድዳት ግን አልችልም
All right, well, that does it for that episode. If you didn't know already, we have merch and we have Cameo. So you can buy merch like shirts and other kinds of things. Link below for that. And you can get me to do a cameo for happy birthday or happy anniversary for someone that you know. It's kind of fun to do that. And everyone out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.